Hi guys, it's Chris at Cock and Crown, back in my cider shed with some more cider to try. And it's a slightly more commercial one. Got it at a supermarket, where I say supermarket, M&S Food Hall. So, you know, higher end of the supermarket chains, if you like. So this is in a can, and it's a Devon Farmhouse cider, is what it says. It says medium dry. It said made by Sandford Orchards, Lower Parks Farm near Crediton in Devon. Sandford. What's Sandford? Sorry, that's made me. Yes, actually. So, well, not a promise to nothing. A promise to something, but it's nothing to do with this. So, when I did the Redneck Rascal a couple of films ago, there was an apple varietal called Herefordshire Chisel Jersey. And I was like, what's that? I know what Chisel Jersey is. What's Herefordshire Chisel Jersey? Well, Kevin sent me a response, watched the film, sent me a message. He's brilliant for that. Always good at giving information, disseminating information. And he said that Herefordshire Chisel Jersey was actually a subcultivar of Sandford Jersey. That's why I thought of it, Sandford Jersey. That was a cultivar of Chisel Jersey. But it was taken from the Sandford Jersey sort of subcultivar. It was taken from Somerset and then planted in Herefordshire. That's why it's called Herefordshire Chisel Jersey. So it's kind of like a cultivar of a cultivar, basically. So there you go. Yeah, if you haven't watched the film, you're not going to care about that. But tough, it popped into my head. So I told you all about it. So it says medium dry. Let's test that theory. Let's see how dry it is. And let's see what the ingredients are, actually. Shall we? Oh, let's just read a little bit of blurb. What does it say here? About this cider. This cider comes from award-winning craft cider maker Sandford Orchards, who make it at their family-run farm near Crediton in Devon. The apples grown on or within 30 miles of the farm include the wonderfully named Farmer's Glory and Slack McGirdle, which I'm familiar with. The golden cider has a light torn, crisp bite and a pleasing bittersweet finish with bags of apple on the palate. So they're using proper cider apples for starters. And a perfect match for great with salads and cold meats, fruity chutney and bread. This also has enough character to go with pasta dishes, a wonderful lunchtime cider. Alright, what's ABV? 4.5. Yeah, lunchtime cider. Anything here? Did you know for the perfect blend of fruit for our ciders, we graft old varieties onto new trees to keep the ancient blends alive? Quite common to do that. That's the beauty of apples. You have to graft them basically, you know, onto, because if you pick an apple off the ground, take the seeds out and plant it, you won't get that apple. In fact, if there's 10 seeds in there or whatever, you'll get 10 completely new trees. So the only way to get the same apple is to actually take it and graft it onto another tree. So actually you can get trees with like 20, 30, 40 or 100 different varieties growing on the same tree just because you've grafted them on there. Interesting, that. Ingredients: apple juice, good. Water, sugar, carbon dioxide, acidity regulator, malic acid, preservative E223, sulfites, don't care about that, and yeast. So it's not wild yeast, obviously. They're using a cultured yeast, probably a wine yeast, one would imagine. But it appears that they are using proper cider apples. That's a good thing. So, don't know what this is going to look like, don't know what it's going to taste like. Okay, so let's have a look at the colour for starters. So, they say they're using proper cider apples, but I have to say, I mean, that's got a bit of colour. A bit of colour. But not loads if you look at it, you know. It doesn't look like a proper cider apple, does it? What have we got knocking about? Anything? You can see the colour of? See the colour of? What's in here? So there, look. That's Kingston Black from Line Down. Kingston Black. Single varietal. Bitter sharp, but bitter, so it's got tannin. Look at the colour difference, right? Look at that, look at that. What looks better? I think that one looks better. That one, I mean, it's got a little bit of almost like a coppery hue to it, but it's quite light in colour. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, so getting some colour from the tannins in the apples and whatever. And there was no colourant on there, so one assumes that it's just natural colour, that. So, let's smell it. Smells kind of bready and yeasty, I think, is the first thing I get. Yeah, it's not that appley. Doesn't smell bad, but it's got a bread yeast character to it on the nose, which I mean I kind of find appealing because I love the smell of bread. I love bread. I could live on carbohydrates and alcohol. I kind of do actually. Yeah, but there's a bready, there is a kind of slightly perfumey floral apple character in the background, but on top of that, for me, it's almost like bready, yeasty character. So, let's taste it. Forced carbonated, black tea, the bubbles are quite creamy. It's not overdone. It's alright, I can live with that. Medium dry, get out of it. It's not medium dry. I don't know why they insist on doing this. I don't know why they insist on saying things aren't what they are. You know, if it's medium, put medium. If it's sweet, put sweet. If it's dry, put dry. I mean, you say, well, it's subjective. It's down to the palate of the person it is. Yeah, but no one in a million years is going to think this is anything close to dry. If they've had a proper dry cider, they just know that it's not. It's misleading, and it causes problems for people like me who sell proper dry cider. People buy it thinking they're going to get that, and actually get something which is properly dry, which is kind of what it should be, because that's what it says in the bottle. So it's misleading, at least all sorts of confusion for the customer. And yeah, it pisses me off. There you go, I said it. Pisses me off. I think this is a bit, it doesn't feel like a natural sweetness. It feels a bit overly sweet end as well, even though it's medium dry. Hint of tannin, just a sort of stringency on the teeth, which is good. There's an appliness to it. There's not that kind of sweated apple though, like leatheriness, like Ay's apple, that sort of foresty character, earthiness you get from a proper cider apple in this. I wonder if they're blending it with culinary dessert apples as well. That's why it's lighter in colour. And it does almost have the taste of like an eating apple you'd buy from your supermarket, Pink Lady, Jazz, something like that, whatever. That's what it feels like. So it lacks cider character. It feels almost like it's not East Coast and it's not West Country either. It's sort of like a halfway house, and it's kind of a bit meh, is what I think of that. So yeah, it's fine on a hot day. It's fine. I'm never going to buy it again. It hasn't done anything to stimulate my brain whatsoever, other than to make me go, yeah, that pisses me off. Whatever, you know. So yeah. So thank you, Sandford Orchards. Sorry that I didn't enjoy this. I'm sure you make other things as well. Maybe they're delicious, but this one for me today, yeah. I mean, cultured yeast also is going to give you just like a more fruit-forward character, less complexity than the wild yeast, which is pretty much everything I sell has got wild yeast, with the exception of like Turner's in Kent. But man, their fruits are great and they blend so brilliantly that in fact I don't mind. Actually, I actually enjoy the fact that it's the fruit is front and centre and it works really well. With this, it's kind of a bit insipid. So there you go. M&S Devon Farmhouse cider, medium dry from Sandford Orchards. I will drink it because it's hot. Anyway, guys, thank you for joining me in my shed. I hope you join me again. But until then, cheers.